The slap echoed across Oakrest Lane before anyone even understood what they'd seen. Neighbors froze mid-mow. Phones slipped from hands. Because Marla Green, queen of Oakrest HOA, had just struck a man on his own driveway. The man didn't flinch. His name was Evan Cross, 36, engineer, quiet, tightening the final bolt on a slate gray mailbox that wasn't supposed to exist. You will repaint that, Marla snapped, clipboard shaking. This neighborhood has standards. Her enforcer, Duke Reaver, stood beside her measuring tape hanging like a weapon. Non-compliant, violation code 5D. Evan smiled. I don't belong to your HOA. The street went silent. Marla's face twisted. That's impossible. We own this block. Evan slowly straightened, wiping his hands on a rag. You own a lie. Duke already had his phone out, calling the police. And that's when the sirens rolled in. Red and blue lights flooded perfect lawns. Kids stared, neighbors whispered. Marla stood smug, until Evan handed the officer a single stamped county map. 27 feet, Evan said calmly. That's how far your power stops. The officer's jaw tightened. Ma'am, he's right. And in front of the entire neighborhood, Marla Green, the woman who ruled Oakrest with fines and fear, felt her crown crack for the first time. Because she didn't just harass the wrong homeowner. She just declared war on the one man who owned the land under her throne. Marla Green didn't back down. She went feral. By sunrise, yellow violation stickers were slapped across Evan Cross's door like crime scene tape. Mailbox offense, visual contamination, disruption of community harmony. Every hour another fine appeared. $75, $150, $300. Her online HOA forum lit up like a digital lynch mob. Open quote, non-compliant property threatens our values. A zoomed-in photo of Evan's house was posted. His address wasn't shown, but everyone knew. Close quote, dot. Neighbors who used to wave now avoided eye contact. One woman crossed the street when Evan stepped outside. That's when a note appeared in his mailbox. They did this to the Wagner family. They lost their home. Don't let her win. So Evan stopped being polite. He printed every email, every fine, every threat. Then he went to the county office. And that's where Marla made her biggest mistake. The clerk pulled up Oakrest's HOA charter. Last update 2010. The so-called 2018 expansion Marla had been enforcing, never approved, never filed, never legal. Oakrest Meadows had been extorting homeowners for 6 straight years. And Evan found something even better. Utility easements ran through his land, water lines, fiber cables, drainage, meaning half of Oakrest's infrastructure was sitting on property they didn't own. Marla thought she was suffocating him with paperwork. In reality, she had just handed Evan the map to her empire's weak points, and he was already planning where to press. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss this downfall. Marla Green scheduled an emergency HOA board meeting. She planned to crush Evan Cross publicly. What she didn't know, Evan was about to legally own the ground she was standing on. 3 parcels went up for county auction that week. Forgotten land tied to Oakrest Meadows, the retention pond, the walking path, and the strip of land beneath the HOA clubhouse. All of it had belonged to the original developer. The developer went bankrupt. The HOA never finished the transfer. So Evan did. For less than what Marla Charla charged in fines every year, Evan bought Oakrest's heart. Saturday arrived. Marla stood at her podium, smug and ready to shame him again. Evan walked in with a county lawyer and a sheriff's deputy. He dropped 3 stamped deeds on the table. Parcel 11B, 11C, 11D, all mine. The room went dead silent. The lawyer spoke. The park, the pond, the clubhouse, this entire meeting is now being held on Mr. Cross's private property. Doug Reaver dropped his pen. Marla laughed nervously. You're joking. The sheriff shook his head. Ma'am, you've been charging dues on land you don't legally own. That's fraud. Neighbors whispered. Some smiled. Others finally realized who the real villain had been. Marla's empire, built on clipboards and fear, collapsed in one sentence. Evan looked straight at her. You called the cops on the wrong homeowner. And for the first time in her HOA reign, Marla Green had no power left to find her way out. Marla Green didn't sleep that night. By morning, screenshots from the HOA's private chat leaked into the neighborhood group. Call the cops, make an example of him, her own words. By noon, the Fairfax Chronicle ran the headline, HOA president exposed for enforcing fake authority. Doug Reaver resigned by email. 2 board members followed. The HOA website went offline. Marla tried to hold one last meeting. 5 people showed up, 4 returned their keys. 3 days later, a for sale sign went into her front yard. The same woman who once fined neighbors for flower colors now packed boxes while movers carried out her trophies. Evan didn't gloat. He didn't have to. Oakrest Meadows voted to dissolve the HOA. No more fines, no more surveillance, no more fear. Evan donated the park and clubhouse back to the community under one condition: no one would ever rule through intimidation again. They installed a bronze plaque at the park entrance. Respect is stronger than rules. Kids chalked the sidewalks. Mailboxes turned every color imaginable. People laughed without looking over their shoulders. Marla left without a goodbye. Her kingdom, built on clipboards and control, vanished like dust. All because she tried to dominate one man over a mailbox and instead exposed her entire empire. If you enjoyed this savage HOA downfall, remember to like, share, and subscribe because truth hits harder when it's watched by millions.